Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. 2 years ago, the acting Attorney General asked me to serve as special counsel, and he created the special counsel's office. The appointment order directed the office to investigate Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. This included investigating any links or coordination between the Russian government and individuals associated with the Trump campaign. Now, I have not spoken publicly during our investigation. I'm speaking out today because our investigation is complete. The Attorney General has made the report on our investigation largely public. We are formally closing the special counsel's office, and as well, I'm resigning from the Department of Justice to return to private life. I'll make a few remarks about the results of our work. But beyond these few remarks, it is important that the office's written work speak for itself.
As those candidates, along with President Trump, get ready for election season, there are new concerns about how both political parties are preparing for the possibility of another round of cyber attacks. Ellison Barber has that from Washington.
The 2016 election is known for many things. Meddling is one of them. Russian bots, the hacking of DNC emails, the WikiLeaks release, cybersecurity or lack thereof were concerns then. Experts say they still are, and that the landscape of cybersecurity threats are increasing daily.
It's not that hard to convince someone to click on a link which installs something on their laptop.
In a new report conducted by the firm Security Scorecard, researchers found the same trend they saw prior to the 2016 presidential elections and the DNC email hacks. Finding, quote, the DNC has made significant investments in security since 2016, but the report notes the organizational behavior at managing digital assets still lags behind the RNC. In a statement provided to Fox News, the DNC's chief security officer, Bob Lord, said the DNC talked to Security Scorecard and that the findings are hygienic and not exploitable. Lord says the DNC spent 2 years overhauling its cyber infrastructure, adding, we continue to welcome help from researchers and other organizations to help improve the security posture of the entire democratic ecosystem. The RNC says it made changes as well.
We work directly with state party officials and our committee men and women, giving them security briefings with DHS officials, with IT professionals.
Researchers at Security Scorecard say while the RNC and DNC could stand to make some changes, they're minor. And both parties did well compared to smaller U.S. political parties and European political parties as a whole. Reporting in Washington, D.C., I'm Ellison Barber, Fox News.
Well, if Washington finally decides to fix the country's immigration problem, Mark Morgan will be at the very heart of that. You know him from this show. He's been a frequent guest. We've happy to have him every time he's been on. And he's now the president's new pick to run ICE. Mark Morgan joins us tonight for his first interview since starting the job. Mr. Morgan, thank you very much. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
On the new job, and thanks for joining us. What are your priorities?
Well, first and foremost, I think anyone in this position is to make sure that I'm going to be a relentless advocate for the men and women of ICE to get the tools necessary to do their job. And part of what that means also is getting out here, doing what I'm doing right now to educate the American people exactly what the hardworking men and women of ICE do every day to safeguard the security of this country and enforce the rule of law, and also working with Congress. But here's the problem with that, Tucker. Congress has clearly showed its inability to do what they know they need to do to fix this crisis. And I've been on there many times and saying they could do several things within the legal framework. They could fix this in 15 minutes. So although I'm going to continue to work tirelessly with Congress to try to get them to do their job, I don't have hope that they're going to. So we need to continue to come up with innovative ideas within the legal framework we can to stop this problem.
Well, they've completely politicized your agency, completely.
Absolutely.
We're moving into the heat of an election season. A number of the candidates have called for getting rid of ICE completely, have compared you to the Nazis.
Absolutely.
Really over-the-top stuff. So given your expectation that they're not going to help at all, what can you do?
So I'll give you an example right now. So ICE actually has three major components that the American people, and unfortunately I think a lot of Congress don't even realize. So they have the ERO side. That's the enforcement and removal operations that deports people. They also have an incredible team of lawyers. That's an integral part of the overall immigration process that's absolutely needed. And then the last part of ICE is HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. And I'll give you an example. So those three major components make up ICE. HSI, for example, what we've done is we've taken about 150 highly trained, experienced HSI agents, and we've pushed them towards the border. And what they're doing is they're looking at child exploitation. They're looking at those individuals who are renting a kid, right? And we called this, Tucker. We knew this was going to happen, and it is. They are renting kids. They're paying to rent somebody's kid and then fake themselves as a family. And right now, and we've infused the DNA testing that we've talked about in the past. So between their investigative skills and the DNA testing, right now in the pilot program, they're finding 25% of the so-called families come across absolutely fake, fraudulent.
The idea that the Attorney General of the United States can turn over information to them and not be in violation of the law is just a fiction that they're all presenting to the American people. They're just lying to the American people. The Attorney General has turned over 98% of the obstruction report, if not 99%. Even Mueller said today that their report has been largely or very largely seen. He knows there's nothing. I've read the report. You've read the report. The redactions are like this. Maybe a third of them are footnotes.